Everybody, it's your boy the Casual here. With no further ado, what we're going to talk about today is UFC 277, and we all know who the main events are, but here I like to talk about the prelims, and the one I'm going to talk about today is Blood Diamond. I'm not sure if any of you guys have heard of Blood Diamond as of yet, but he is, in a sense, with all due respect, he seems to appear to be Isreal Adesanya's protege. So he, in many ways, he came out with a lot of hype back last year. I think he made his debut or earlier this year. I can't remember. I think it was like 6 months ago. He made his debut and he was very much hyped up. And you know, with fair credit to him, he's got a phenomenal background in kickboxing, just like Adesanya, and they seem to go way back in terms of that. He's racked up a number of higher wins in kickboxing, and I guess to an extent, there is always that feel that as a kickboxer you could bring those skills to MMA and perform quite well. And we've seen it with Drukas, we've seen it with Isreal himself, and a few others who've come with that kickboxing pedigree. Wonder Boy, Stephen Thomas, all of that. But in his debut, it wasn't that great. He was choked out, and unfortunately, he didn't manage to clinch the win. So, you know, Dana hasn't really got much patience for that sort of stuff. And I think in the early stages, when you're still trying to build your MMA career and your background, particularly in the big dance in the UFC, you do need to be winning. So this fight that's coming up for him, it's kind of a big deal. So what I wanted to do is just basically break down Blood Diamond for us here and just to talk about him. So essentially, he's from Zimbabwe originally, and he came to New Zealand back in 2003. Picked up kickboxing, and from all accounts, he has a phenomenal style. He's very good at mixing it up, really getting in there and, you know, doing his thing. In terms of his MMA background, his pedigree, with all due respect to him, he doesn't seem as accomplished as some others who we've seen in more recent times. From what I understand, he's had 3 MMA fights, and so it's a bit of a surprise to see him already within the UFC. But in this instance, I guess he has that tutelage from Adesanya and from that camp, and it just made sense, you know, if he's able to sort of transfer that skill. I think I saw something about one of his coaches saying that his style with kickboxing was always a bit difficult, and it was a bit awkward to coach him through fights and to get him to follow a game plan. But with MMA, he picked up quite quickly. So I'm guessing that combined with his kickboxing skills, it just seemed like it would have been a natural fit with MMA. And not to say that that's not going to be the case. You know, we've seen a few other people who haven't necessarily made their debut as spectacular as others, but over a period of time and adjustments, they've been able to rack up some wins and to do quite well in the promotion. And that's why, particularly with Blood Diamond in this particular fight, there's a lot to look forward to and to look out for, because there's a good chance that if he doesn't necessarily win this fight, his career in the UFC will be very short-lived. So I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of pressure on the young man going into this fight, but still, nonetheless, we're wishing him a lot of luck. And I think that's one in the prelims that we should really be looking out for, because again, he's got a lot riding on it, and if he's able to sort of prove himself, there is some scope for him. The issue is against the weight category that he's fighting at. I guess that in the prelims and stuff, you're really just trying to make your name, but as you move through the division, the fight gets a lot more tougher. And he is a welterweight, and within the welterweights, we've got some monsters in there at the moment, with Usman obviously running the show, and you've got Colby Covington, you've got Gilbert Burns, you've just got all sorts of names at the moment. You know, there's so many to pick from. So again, this is one to look out for. Hopefully, this is just some development in his story, and as he moves forward, he'll be able to meet or match the hype, and in a good way. I think that first loss might have actually reduced some of the pressure on him. I remember when I first heard of him, it was on Izzy's YouTube channel. You should check that out if you've not seen that. And Izzy did a big breakdown on Blood Diamond. It was a real introduction to the character and the hopes that they had for him moving forward. And yeah, at the same time, Chael Sonnen also did a talk about him as well. He definitely would not have got all of that promotional fanfare if it wasn't for his connections with Adesanya at the time. But with that first loss, the good thing is that pressure's off his back. You know, the idea that he needs to live up to the hype, and now he can actually just focus on the game. Not to say he wasn't doing that in the first place, but now there's that excitement sort of gone back. It's his chance to really pull through and get things done. But you know what? Let's wait and see. Let's see what pans out. Obviously we know who else is fighting that day. We've got the big fight with Nunes, and obviously that's gonna be fun to see. Hopefully, you know, she does her thing, because the fear for me is that if she loses this one, this might just be the tailing off of her career. But let's wait and see. But again, look out for Blood Diamond that day, and yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. It's your boy.